Hello StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another weekly edition of Into the Void. This is a game between Hasenderr and Fzhoul on Galactic Process, the latter edition. In the top right side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Fzhoul. Reminds me of Fzhoulies. And in the bottom left side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is Hasenderr. I have no idea if that's supposed to be German or Swedish or something. It kind of looks like it is. But if that's like the word for cookie in Finnish, I have no idea. All right, so both players are being very nice to each other. Good luck, have fun. Thrown out, responded to with same by Hasenderr. Looks all the world like Fzhoul is going for that very, very safe hatch first play against Protoss in Legacy of the Void. And Hasenderr is also, what now? Gateway first. There's that gateway. And remember, this is the map where there are all these crazy attack paths Zerglings can take to get inside your base and wreck you. We've seen Zerg players do this time and time again against Protoss already. I feel like every ZVP on this map, that's all it is Zergling counterattacks, where Zergs can do that and get off some nice counters. Try to threaten this third base by knocking down these rocks, try to come up here, try to come through here. It's just a lot of stuff for Protoss to take care of, and when Zerg takes advantage of that, they can usually win the game. However, if they cannot, if the Protoss player is very good at defending, if the Zerg player is not as aggressive with those counters, then it can be very hard for the Zerg player to win on the other end. So we'll see how this works out for Fzhoul and Hasenderr. Here comes our probe running on up here. There's that spawning pool, already getting the 3 workers on gas. Well done here by Fzhoul. And meanwhile, there's the Nexus out of Hasenderr. So 1 gate expand. Again, this is not what bronze and silver used to be back in the days of Wings of Liberty. It's not. These guys have a general idea of what they're doing. It's after this point, right about here, that things go weird. You start to forget probes, you start to forget drones, you start to forget injects. You miss things because you're busy microing your probe against this drone, trying to block this off or get to do stuff back at home here. Can Fzhoul, he's trying to go for a third, and he's going to be able to get it. I don't think Hasenderr can block that thing unless he turns around, and I don't know if Fzhoul, he has a lot of money. He's getting queens. He could go for that third hatch. I'm just not sure that he actually wants to. He really just wants to kill this probe, which is going to be impossible as long as Hasenderr is babysitting it well enough. And there it is. And yeah, the drone, I mean, what the heck? What are you doing, drone? This is very odd. I thought it was going to go scout, and I thought, well, maybe it's going to go for that hatch now. Might as well do it now. Better late than never. All right, what is it going to be? Another gateway here, so likely something of a double adept type opening. There's 1 adept coming out of here for Hasenderr, and a Fzhoul, on the other hand, has a couple lings running around. That's very, very nice. This probe might just straight up die to these lings if it is not careful. Where's that other ling? 1 ling, 2 ling, 1 ling. Ah, just sitting right here waiting for this probe to come back. Get it, ling. Oh, you didn't see it. That's impossible. I love this Overlord Scout out of Fzhoul, seeing everything that's going on, seeing the second gateway. Recognizing what that likely means, the queen does take down the probe before... Well, actually, no, the probe got a full scout. The probe saw everything that was going on, including the timing on that lair. So whether or not Hasenderr can actually determine what that means, or if it was just like, oh, there's a lair, that's interesting, I don't know. But we'll see how what's going to happen here. That's another gate coming up, and a forge. Okay, so this is where we get a little bit weird. I don't know where this 3-gate forge thing is happening from. It's like a weird 2-base 4-gate from back in Wings of Liberty. It doesn't make any sense to me. But Hasenderr has some kind of a plan here. Definitely making a lot of adepts. 2 more to add to the 1 that's already out there. And yeah, that forge for upgrades for cannons or something. Fzhoul, on the other hand, is going for that lair. Really has nothing except for those 2 lings. Feels very, very safe. Very safe. Does have a ling right here, which is good. I mean, anything that comes down that ramp will run into that ling. Although, if Hasenderr decides to come this way, maybe knock down this destructible, or these rocks, then it could cause some problems here for the Zerg player. But some lings out here. Speed's just about to finish. And there we go. Speedlings running on out, trying to get that map control, trying to pick off any probes, any adepts that are running around. They would be able to, but these adepts are playing pretty darn defensively. Getting a cannon. Hasenderr has lost to aggression from Zergs before, I can see. Move in. Do this thing, Fzhoul. Take down this base. I don't know. I mean, Hasenderr has a lot of adepts. I don't know. That probe died, that's for sure. That was very quick. Put a little bit of fear of God into the Protoss player here. So that third base is up and running. Nobody's actually doing anything with it. Can the lings, what are they trying to do? They're trying to take out probes, which is fine, but the adepts and the photon overcharge clear them out pretty darn quickly. I would say, how many probes has been killed? 5 have been killed so far, and that's a lot of dead lings. Resources lost fairly even at this point. Looks like the Protoss players lost a little bit more. Again, losing workers is never good. It's 33 to 38 harvesters. Fzhoul is ahead in that count. Again, not doing anything at all with this third. I'm not sure what the plan is here. Woo, Hydralisk rush. 5-minute Hydras out of Fzhoul, getting muscular augments too. So going Hydraling, which against Mass Adept, not very good just because Adepts do extra damage versus light. As you can see, over twice as much damage versus light units, which is what Hydralisks are. So, oh my goodness. Cannon, cannon, cannon. Hasenderr. Hasenderr, you are very worried about those Ling counterattacks, aren't you? You've been on this map before. I mean, a little bit of overkill. I know I say to make static defense. I feel like one cannon's probably okay here. Also, you're blocking off your ability to mine gas, so never put things here. That's my pro tip of the day. All right, what do we got here? We do have Hydras. I mean, against 2 Adepts, they should be just fine. I'm not going to worry about them in that situation. Continuing to make workers. It's 48 to 36 total harvesters now. Fzhoul looking good. Overlords scouting everywhere. They might be able to kill this Ling. They see the number of Hydras that are out. They try to get inside the main base and get a nice scout out there. They're going to see the double evolution chamber and a roach warren and get some shots off on this queen. I don't know if they're going to be able to kill the queen depending on the reaction time of these Hydras. Here we go. The Hydras do show up and those Adepts are dead. You can't run from Hydras, man. Not on creep. They have too far of range. They hit too hard. And the Adepts both end up falling there. So evolution chamber is done. Roach warren just about complete. So a Roach Hydra type composition, possibly with missile attack and ground carapace. If Fzhoul can get around to doing that, it would be very nice indeed. See these cannons? This gas, it's just so inefficient. So inefficient. It hurts my little heart. +1 attack on the way. I like early upgrades. But Hasenderr currently has 6 Adepts, and that is it. Spending money, neither player really spending their money that well. APM to this point is about 150, 130 for Hasenderr, around 120 or so for Fzhoul. So neither of these guys are too bad in that department, but again, decision making can make a big difference as to what league you're in as well. Good inject there on that queen. I like that. Double robotics facility now for Hasenderr. One there and one here. Possibly for disruptors. I like disruptor against Roach Hydra. I really do. It's just, is Fzhoul actually going to get near roaches? He currently has zero roaches. But has that roach warren, so that's fantastic. So +1/+1 is on the way for the Hydras. A couple overseers mixed in. Really worried about DTs, possibly. Could be what we're seeing there. Are you double pronging this? Fzhoul. Fzhoul, you crazy person. Gonna go to try to knock this down. Without +1 melee attack, though, it's gonna take a long time for these rocks to get knocked on down. We'll keep an eye on it down there. The Hydras are ready to rock, but the longer you let the Protoss player get this army up, the more difficult it's going to be. 17 roaches in production for the Zerg player, trying to spend that money, but supply blocked. 3 overlords on the way. At this point in the game, I just like to make about 10 overlords. Just do it. Burp. Get it out of the way. I guess there's only 4 larvae available, and a Lurker den morphing in 2 off that Hydralisk den. So we're going to see Lurkers. We're going to see Hydras. These Lings are almost through those rocks. I guess if you have this many, it doesn't take too long. That Nexus is in a huge amount of trouble. Can Fzhoul get there? Can Fzhoul get in there? Lings, you have free reign. You have a wide open lane. There it is, getting right on in on top of that Nexus. Can anybody save it? Here come the Adepts. Are they going to be in time? It's already down to 0% shields now. Into the health of it. Can they save it? The Adepts are starting to kill Lings very quickly. And yes, it looks like they will save the Nexus, but to push up the front here with the Hydras and the Roaches, the Cannons, again, not doing much of anything in this particular situation. They're really more there. Depowering. Wow, depowering it. Trying to focus down this Nexus before the rest of the army shows up. And can they get the Nexus? They get it. They get it and try to retreat the heck on out of there. They lose a bunch of units because they just retreat instead of standing and fighting, but I guess you keep most of your army alive. And after killing that Nexus, that's a big stinking deal. This one is now being long distance mined too. Fzhoul is already up here with this base as well. Let's see. Overseer's trying to retreat on home. It's 120 to 99 total supply. Lurker den about to complete. 17 more roaches in production. Can you hold here? The Immortals are going to absolutely chew up these roaches. And like I said, the Hydra is getting direct shots on them from the Adepts. The Protoss player is winning this thing fairly handily now. It's just that 17 roach count that's going to be a bit of a problem. Is that +1/+1 finished? It has. And +1/+1 also done for the Protoss player. So here come the extra roaches. Trying to get rid of these Adepts before the Immortals show up is the thing. The Adepts can kind of tank the damage while the Immortals do it from the back row. And number of... oh man, these roaches are just falling very, very quickly indeed as they try to deal with these Adepts. With this Immortal count, woo-wee, 5 kills, 6 kills, 11 kills. I like this choice to get Lings. That's pretty good stuff there, killing all of the Adepts possibly. No, not all of the Adepts in this century trying to burn down those Overseers. 12 more Roaches in production. I just feel like it's got to be Lings. It's got to be Lings for Fzhoul. How many larvae do you have? Only 4. That's why injects are important, you guys. That's why you got to get consistent injects. Get a macro hatch if you need to, but you got to have that production at this point in the game. Whoa, Hasenderr decides to spare the Zerg player just a little bit and retreats. Meanwhile, Fzhoul has, I mean, some Roaches, 12 Roaches on the field. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like those Immortals could win that fight pretty darn handily. But this base has been replanted from Hasenderr. This base never actually fell. So that's great news. It's 50 to 46 Harvesters now. So Hasenderr actually has the lead. Have any drones died? No drones have died. It's just that Hasenderr has been working on macro, while Fzhoul hasn't really been saturating his new bases that well. 11 Hydras in production. Fzhoul, again, trying to spend that money. It's just, I mean, he has no larva available. 0 larva available. Immortals, Adepts, trying to sneak around and see what they can do. Overlord scouting things in this particular location. And I don't know, I think the longer this game goes on, this Roach Hydra stuff isn't really going to cut it for Fzhoul. I feel like Hasenderr's doing well with the Adept Immortal type stuff. I don't know where his Immortals went. Why are they back here? Why are they back in the main base? No, no, no. Alright, so Adepts are going to meet up with this and have a huge problem with it. Are they on attack move? No. They were not on attack move, but the return, or the turnaround time was not bad. I don't know. Yeah, they're running for it now. Retreating to follow the psionic transferring units here, but there are some Roaches that should be able to deal with this fairly well. +2 attack is finished on the Adepts, though. That's pretty good stuff. No sign of +2 on the way for Fzhoul. And the Adepts are getting chased around on the creep by Roaches, cleaning out all of them but one. One does manage to escape, and there she is. There she is. Sentry throws down force fields and survives. Wait, Roaches and Hydras can kind of squeeze through. I've never seen that before. There's just enough room for them to go through single file. That's hilarious. That is very funny. 42 Lings on the way for Fzhoul. Not messing around, man. 42 Lings. No melee attack upgrades. I'd like to see a +1 there. You've had some time and a lot of resources as well here for Fzhoul, but alright, so I like the Ling addition to this Roach Hydra composition. Still no Lurkers, which is a little bit odd. The Lings, once again, going to try to go for the space. There is no static defense, no cannons, no photon overcharge available. Where is the Mothership Core? Where is she? Is there not a Mothership Core? No! Hasenderr doesn't have a Mothership Core. Did he lose it in one of the previous battles? What is happening? You have to have a Mothership Core at all times. Alright, so here we go. Battle of the century here. Roaches, Hydras, the Lings moving in for the attack while the army is a little bit distracted here. Immortal count is fairly high. 1 finally dies. 2 dies. Getting focused down pretty well by these Hydras, but the Adepts cleaning out those Hydras at the same time, completely gone. Lings taking out this Nexus here, finally finishing what their earlier brethren were unable to do. A lot of probes dying there. That's not good. 35 Harvesters left for Hasenderr. Coming back to try to defend it is Hasenderr. Where are the Lings? Taking out an Assimilator, getting rid of a Pylon, getting rid of another Assimilator. Hasenderr's on 2 base at 13 minutes, which is bad. Which is really bad. You can't do that. I don't know if you want to attack into this, Lings. Get out of there, Lings. Run! Run. Why are you? I mean, he's trying to do a Ling run by when the army is standing right there, which seems like a problem. I don't know. Good scout, though. Not a bad scout. Did kind of see what we're dealing with inside the main base. I think that's the first time he's been in there for a while, since that Overlord went through at about minute 4. Either way, +2 attack is on the way for the missile attacks, and +2 ground carapace. We have a hive. We have a spire. All this great stuff is happening. Overlord. I like the positioning there on those Overlords, making sure no ninja expansions happen from the Protoss player. And right now, Zerg looks like he's completely in control. 13 minutes in, resources lost is favoring the Protoss player, 11,000, 8,600, which again is to be expected. Zerg is not as cost efficient as either Protoss or Terran. Lurkers morphing in. Can they get there in time? Is there an observer with this army? Holy smokes, it's going to be very close. Hydras trying to stand their ground. Can the Lurkers finish in? No, Hydras, what are you doing? Why are you walking? Burrow. Burrow now. Lurkers, no, come assist. What are you freaking doing? Oh my gosh, the Roaches all get absolutely massacred. Absolutely massacred. Lurkers say, please take all of my bases, right? But don't come up here. I mean, I guess that's a pretty good advantage point there to take out most of this stuff. Holy smokes, there is an observer. There is an observer here. The Lurkers are getting absolutely massacred by these Immortals. They're taking a lot of units with them. Transfuse, keeping that Lurker alive, up to 6 total kills. If you can take down that observer, no, it doesn't matter. Lings trying to flood on in and get a surround on this stuff. Yes, taking out a Stalker, trying to kill Immortals. Again, Lings are very, very good in this situation. Immortals do not do full damage to light units, which is what Lings are. Trying slowly to whittle this thing down. No, can't quite pull it off. Can't quite pull it off. Static defense being thrown down desperately by Fzhoul. More and more roaches trying to come out, but as soon as they come out, they die to these +3 attack Immortals. 16 kills, 18 kills, 10 kills, 17 kills on these guys. The Immortals are absolutely crushing through everything right now. Mutas are on the way. 5 Mutas on the way for Fzhoul. Can he do this thing with Mutas? That base, not long for the world. Blorp. Static defense, not long for the world. Broodlings trying to kill stuff too. Can they kill an Immortal? No, the Immortal's moving a little bit too quickly here for that to happen. Mutas pop, and where are they? I just saw them. I just saw them. Here they are. They're trying to come on in here. Spawning pool getting focused down by Hasenderr, and the Mutas are out. 5 more Mutas on the way, so 10 Mutas here, and this is a very, very non-anti-air based composition. The Spire does die. Broodlings come in to assist here. Can they take down the Hive before the Mutas get rid of them? The Observer's down. That's pretty good, but I feel like the Immortals are your priority right here. And they finally do get removed. This Queen trying to survive desperately. I'd like to point out Hasenderr has not retaken his 3rd base. I mean, at this point in the game, where you have the Zerg player, on the back foot, he does get the Hive, but every single Adept dies, every single Immortal dies, and the Observer too. So we're looking at a pretty low econ game right now. It is 10 Mutas versus 3 Stalkers, which Hasenderr has. Income tab shows 34 to 43 total Harvesters. The number of bases that Fzhoul has is actually working out pretty well. Is replacing this base. Still has this one. Still has this one. And again, Hasenderr has not replaced that 3rd. That's going to be a huge problem for him. Big time problem. Knocking down that cannon so he can actually get outside of his own base with these sentries. So sentry, Stalker here. I feel like the Mutas have an opportunity right now. Might as well go out and see what you can get done, Fzhoul. I know you want to play defense right now, but go see if there's a base here and see if you can snipe it down. Go see if you can kill some probes over in this area. More sentries coming on in. And sentries are actually not bad against Mutas, especially with +3 attack. Look at that. Damage of 9. Weapon speed 0.71. It adds up. It adds up over time. I'd like to see maybe some Lings added in here for Fzhoul. He is replacing his spawning pool, trying to recreate his entire tech tree. Is he going to make a hatch here? He's going to lose these buildings if he doesn't poop some creep. Or throw down a hatchery or a creep tumor or something. See this Queen right here? Enough for a creep tumor. I like this from Hasenderr, though. Hasenderr says, you know what? I'm going to go out and try to kill the Zerg player right on now. Fzhoul very happy to see there's not a 3rd base there. Going after the Assimilator. Sneaky base here for Fzhoul. And once again, here we go. Stalkers and sentries this time. All of it anti-air. Out of Hasenderr. All the Overlords going to die very quickly. No upgrades on those guys whatsoever. The Mutas are going to come in. I'm not sure if 10 Mutas is enough to handle this. Some Roaches coming out. I don't know if the Mutas want to engage right here. They're going to try to take them while they're a little bit distracted. Guardian Shield comes up. Woo! That was a big deal. How many Mutas left? 8. 2 Mutas died there almost instantly. Hasenderr, Guardian Shield up. Broodling's trying to kill some stuff. Not going to be able to do it. Roaches in production. Spinecrawler here too. Trying to focus down the Overlords. Not exactly sure what that's all about. Trying to kill a Roach there. They do manage to do it. This is the most effective I've seen sentries be in a long time. Mutas getting killed by cannons. What are you doing? Why are you throwing these away? No, Fzhoul, no, don't do... All those guys are dead. Hasenderr is back inside the main base of Fzhoul. Not a lot of DPS on these suckers, but they'll be able to take out buildings no problem. Is that one already bleeding? I think that one's already bleeding because it's just barely off the creep. Roach trying to get some shots off. Queen does manage to explode. Look at this. Look at these Roaches. Okay, this might actually be enough Roaches here. There is, again, Guardian Shield decreasing the incoming ranged attack damage. But Broodlings actually assisting here immensely with these sentries. Fzhoul does manage to actually clean this up. But again, you're going to lose these buildings. Don't do it. Don't you lose these buildings. More sentries coming out for Hasenderr. And again, just sitting on 2 bases. This is essentially mined out. There is still some Vespene gas in that assimilator. This base is almost mined out. Gold bases here for Fzhoul, replacing the Spire, replacing the Roach Warren. You're going to have to replace these in a minute, Fzhoul. Come on, Fzhoul. Hasenderr says no. Hasenderr says no. I'm going to do this again. Oh, Lings are out. Lings are out. And they're going to trap. We're not going to trap things. There we go. Going to try to get these sentries. Force fields? No, the force fields are not that great. Not that good. Roach is really focusing on the sentries, not worrying about the stalkers at all. Every single sentry is going to fall here. The remainder of the Stalkers, there are only 2 of them, getting a full surround with these Lings too. Yes, pretty good, and that's it. Hasenderr is defeated, and Fzhoul is victorious, taking the win home for the Zerg. Wow, that was a good one. That was a good back and forth into the void. I hope you appreciated it. That was excellent, I thought. Thanks to my screeners and everybody who went ahead and went through all of the Into the Void replays that I get. If you'd like to submit a replay to Into the Void, go ahead and do so to falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Into the Void. I'll take a look at it. Well, I'll send it to my screeners. They'll look at it, and then they will let me know which ones are the very best, and I will cast those ones. All right. So that's it from me today. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another weekly edition of Into the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.
Broken and ashamed by what you have done. There is no redemption, and so you must run. And it's taken your heart and broken your soul. You cannot go back until you're made whole. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live, a place you can love. Is it just an illusion? When push comes to shove, there's a light upon you, and you follow it on, looking for a reason and a way to atone. All around you, the planets and stars. You're lost in a maelstrom of a great new unknown. And you're running into the void. You go searching into the void to find a place you can live, a place you can love. Is it just an illusion? When push comes to shove, go searching into the void. And you're running into the void.